Me and More 2.1, to debt or not to debt. If you have decided to share your life with another person, whether that be a partner, whether that be a wife or a husband, whether that be a business partner, perhaps that's a roommate that you're really close with and do a lot of things with. All sorts of people that we can decide to share our lives with. For this video, we're going to focus more on the partner of a husband or wife. And so if you're coming into that kind of a partnership, you have two individuals who may or may not both have debt. What kind of debt? How's that structured? How does it impact that person? How does it impact you? A lot of people don't think anything of it. Well, you have your debt. That's fine. You deal with it. Possibly, but it does have impact because there are payments that need to be made. And if you're joining your lives together, there is some financial overlap. It's very important that we know what kind of debt is coming in and that you know what the payments are, what the interest rates are, and what the expected term for payoff is. Is that partner expecting you to participate in paying off that debt? And if not, how is their commitment to paying off that debt going to impact their finances in your journey together? These are really important questions. And then our debt. What if you take on debt together? Do you have the same mindsets? So I usually recommend that if you're going into a relationship with another person, that you do a bit of a relationship financial contract. Some people call it a prenup, and a prenup's a little bit different than what we're talking about here. What it is it's really saying that we are two entities with financial situations, and we are just putting in a contract our intent on how we're going to deal with those finances in the partnership. We do that in business as well. When we have two business people coming in, often everybody's not participating the same amount of money or time or skill sets. And so there's a contract of partnership that sort of states, this is what I'm bringing to the table, the good and bad, and this is how we're going to treat it in the partnership. Highly recommend that. Our debt, when you decide to take on debt together, again, those same questions. Usually recommend that there be a payment structure set out and that you put a clause on there for your backup strategy. What if one of you decides that they want to back out of the relationship or back out of that debt agreement? How is that going to be handled? You can purchase debt insurance to cover those situations. Often that's not needed. Something to be looking into and asking about before you just jump in. We know that credit cards in joint names, you're jointly responsible for that. Do you want to be? Do you know your partner's spending habits? Does that seem like a good idea? Lots of questions around this whole debt consideration. And then who pays who? Again, so if you're having joint credit cards and one of you is spending a lot more money and wants to go on vacation than that, are you both paying on that debt? Or is that person's responsibility and obligation? How is that structured? What if one of you defaults? What if you has a job interruption and you can't make those payments? Is the other person going to cover that off? So when you add somebody to your life journey, debt is definitely a conversation that I would encourage you to have. And sometimes, again, we need to be looking at some legal contracts to define how that is going to actually work in your relationship. Remember, important things are, is it variable interest or locked in interest? What is the term for which repayment is scheduled? What are the monthly payments? And where is the backup plan in case you miss some of those payments to avoid a default on a loan, because your credit rating is at risk with that.